I'm pretty sure we're just one sequel away from weaponized Zimmer frames. Hello the YouTubes, Ash back once again, this time with a review of the Expendables 3, the third in the installment of Sylvester Stallone's Let's Get All My Mates Together and Shoot Some Guns at People franchise. This time around there's a slightly different take on it as Sylvester Stallone leaves behind his old crew and pulls together a new crew of younger, fitter models. This includes the likes of Ronda Rousey of MMA fame and some guy from Twilight called Kellen Lutz. However, it's not the new kids that make the impact, it's the new fossils that he brings in that really steal the show. Wesley Snipes comes in as one of the former Expendables who's currently incarcerated. The film opens with them breaking him out of the prison, and he really does make a fantastic impact when he comes in. Unfortunately, he tends to fade out towards the end of the movie. In fact, he pretty much disappears. Mel Gibson comes in as the big bad guy that they're all after, and not since Lethal Weapon has Mel Gibson been this crazy outside of real life. I loved him in this. It really was like a harken back to Martin Riggs, but obviously a bad guy. Antonio Banderas also rocks up and he steals every scene he's in. He pretty much reminds me of the squirrel from Over the Hedge, just constantly talking, jibber-jabbering, so hyperactive, so funny. He was absolutely amazing in this role. I loved him. It's been a while since I've seen him in anything as well, so it's good to know he's still kicking about. Harrison Ford comes in and replaces the greedy bastard, miserable twat that is Bruce Willis. He has an okay turn. He doesn't have a great deal to do. I was a bit disappointed. Every character so far in the Expendables has had a joke at their real life expense. Didn't really pick up on one for Harrison Ford. There was a quality one for Wesley Snipes straight away, riffing on his recent real life incarceration, which I would have been disappointed if they didn't do. By this point, you know what to expect from an Expendables movie. It's pretty much just over-the-top crazy action, stupid one-liners from some of Hollywood's senior action heroes. The action's been toned down a bit in this. There's not as much blood. It gets a PG-13 rating. But to be fair, that didn't detract from the movie as far as I was concerned. To be honest, I didn't really notice it until I thought about it after. It pretty much just like watching a feature-length version of the A-Team. People get shot but nobody ever bleeds. I thought this time that the one-liners were better constructed. I felt in previous installments some of the one-liners felt a bit flat. I don't know if it was the way they were written or the delivery, I'm not sure, but this time around they seemed to hit a bit better for me. The addition of the young crew was a good welcome break. It was good to see some fresh faces, some possible future action stars. Ronda Rousey did really well. I was quite worried when they cast her, same with Victor Ortiz, a boxer. Bit apprehensive when they cast people outside of the acting world, but both held up really well. Kellen Lutz was fantastic, as was the new guy whose name I've forgotten. Give me a second. Glenn Powell. Never heard of him before, but he was pretty decent. In fact, I quite liked his character Wi-Fi. It was good to see fresh faces coming in, but not just that. It was good to see the Expendables branching out into the modern age, using technology to their advantage, and there is a good joke about that in the middle of the movie, which was quite good. I don't know if this is paving the way for a new breed of Expendables. I'm sure I read somewhere that Sylvester Stallone was calling it a day after this one, which is a shame because I still think there's legs in this. I would like to see the Expendables in an urban environment. So far it's all been like jungle or wastelands. I want to see them in a city. I want to see them going up against a formidable foe in an urban landscape. I think that'd be class, especially with the new additions. I think they could work really well in that environment. The film suffers at times with some subpar CGI, a bit of dodgy green screen here and there, but it's not an effects movie, so you can kind of forgive it. And you know, you've got octogenarians doing stunts. I mean, come on, they need all the help they can get. Speaking of stunts, there is some fantastic ones. Kellen Lutz, the motorbike stunt that you see in the trailer is absolutely fantastic. I can't get tired of seeing that. As I said before, Wesley Snipes starts off strong, does some really good action scenes and then just disappears. And that's pretty much the case for a lot of them. Everyone sort of gets one scene, one moment to be brilliant, and then they're just forgotten about, like etched aside. You've had your time in the spotlight. I know there's a lot of people, there's a lot of cast to get through, and there's some big fucking egos, but it's got to come together for me. It needs to make a bit more sense. In the real world, everyone's not just going to get that 1 minute to shine and then just disappear and let someone else take over. Similarly disappointing was the final face-off between Stallone and Mel Gibson. It felt rushed. It didn't go on for very long. I know that obviously in reality someone of Mel Gibson's size isn't going to stand up to Stallone for too long, but I wanted to see a bit more from him. The fight between Stallone and Van Damme in the second one was quality. This one is lacking just a little bit. All that being said though, Expendables 3 is a really fun ride. I definitely recommend it. I don't like it as much as I like the second one, but I like it more than the first one. I'm going to give it 3 Academy Awards, but it's a high 3. At the end of the day, you know what you're getting into with these films, so just go in and enjoy it. Switch your brain off, watch things blow up, watch some old people say one-liners and fire some guns. And as always, if you like this video, leave a like below, hit the subscribe button, tell your friends, tell your family, don't tell me mum, and I will see you next time.